Welcome to Thoroughbred 360, insights, stories and strategy from the commercial world of thoroughbred racing with your host, Bruce Slade. Episode 7, everybody. The big meeting on the weekend was in the West, the Winterbottom Stakes, and what a race it was. Of course, Libertad just nosing out Overpass in a really thrilling finish. Overpass, what a mighty racehorse. But, you know, Libertad, he deserved that one. What a war horse. I mean, this is a horse that was sold as a yearling by his breeders, Rhinewood. He made his way to the Breeze Up sales, picked up by Annabelle and Rob there. He's racing the Trilogy colours. He's won group race at 2, at 3, at 4, and now a Group 1 race as a 5-year-old. Second Group 1 winner for Russian Revolution. You know, we've spoken about Russian Revolution before. Just a clear reflection of where the market is with these horses. They support them their first year or two, they drop off them then, and then they come back at them if they have some success. So if you have a look at Russian Revolution stud record so far, he sired 150 foals in his first 2 crops, so each of his first 2 crops, and he ran at close to 5% stakes winners to runners through them. His numbers and quality of mare then dropped away in season 3 and 4, dropping to 100 foals per season. Quality dropped as well. No stakes winners from his current 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds so far. And then his biggest and best crops coming through. So 200 mares covered at 60,000 plus GST. They are now 2-year-olds, so you'll see those popping their heads up. We've already seen CIA win the Max Lees, and his yearling crop this year, it was out the best mares he's ever covered. $85,000 plus GST these yearlings were conceived on, out of the best mares he's covered. And based on history, I'd expect that you'll see Russian Revolution rebound here and really sort of start making himself prominent again commercially through group race success. Some really nice 2-year-old performances from the weekend, horses that we're going to see in the major races, major carnivals going forward, I'm sure. Shout out to John Hutchinson, who posted on Twitter and sort of showcased the impact of Extreme Choice. We know what an incredible young stallion he is with his Group 1 winners to runners, stakes winners to runners ratio from such limited numbers, but now making a huge impact as a sire of sires. He's only got 3 sire sons with runners so far. They all have their first 2-year-olds running this season. Of course, Incognito won the Breeders' Plate for Stay Inside, first stakes race of the season. Tiger of Malay had Tigroni run a big race on Saturday at Rosehill for second after sitting 3 deep the entire, massive performance. And then Extreme Warrior, already the sire of the Baron of Blandford, his first winner of the season earlier, and now on the weekend Extreme Warrior sires his first stakes winner in the Merson Cooper Stakes, Eternal Warrior, a horse that was on debut for the Blue Bloods crew, for Lloyd Kennewell, a horse bred by the chase. Great for all those organisations, all very active at the yearling sales, all in there buying yearlings, putting people together to race them. Nice to see them get a really nice result and a really exciting sort of horse going forward for some races later on ahead of the 2026 yearling sales series. Well done to all involved there. In Sydney, always really competitive 2-year racing this time of year in Sydney, and Fireball was a dominant winner on debut for James Herron. Of course, James and his team had Incognito win the Breeders' Plate earlier in the year. Another colt by Snitzel in those famous green and gold silks, winning really well there for the Chris Waller stable. A horse that is an English graduate, so he doesn't have that sort of temptation of Magic Millions around the corner. He will probably go for a break now, it looks like, and he'll come back for a crack at that golden slipper and maybe run through something like an Inglis Millennium on the way through. Really nice horse, of course, bred by Michael O'Keefe, who had a nice stakes winner as well on the same card with Brycey Hayes in the Starlight Stakes, so well done to the crew there. So well done to the guys there. And on a personal note, really chuffed to buy the dam of Fireball earlier in the year for the Gatt family. Dance Party is her name. She's by Charge Ford. We purchased her for $100,000. She's foaled in a cracking Maurice filly for us. She is back in foal in the Congo, a young sire we have a lot of time for. And of course, being a son of Snitzel, she is now carrying a 3/4 in blood to Fireball in utero. And a good example of going in there and buying a mare that had really nice progeny on the way through, some bullets to fire, and we've been the benefactors of her progeny being by proper stallions in proper systems. From one of the likely favourites in the Inglis Millennium to a likely favourite, one of the key runners now in the Karaka Million, coming this January, of course, on the eve of that big New Zealand Bloodstock Sales Series. At Ellerslie on Saturday, we saw a horse called Incandescent win very well. Lovely big long stride on the son of Per Incanto for the My Racehorse team, for Rob Wellwood and Roger James. Looks a really nice horse, and a horse that hopefully we'll be seeing in the flesh at Karaka come January for that $1 million feature race. Finally, just to wrap up the 2-year-olds, well done to the team at Coolmore Acrobat, siring his first winner at the Sunshine Coast on Sunday. He is off the mark, that young son of Fastnet Rock. Around the grounds now, other stakes races felt were sort of commercial importance. Ruska Roma, Super Seth's 4th stakes winner in Australia from 60-odd runners. So, 7.5% stakes winners to runners, doing a really good job. Super Seth, that is his first stakes winning filly. His other 3 stakes winners, all Group 1 winners for Rocher, Mason, Louis and Linebacker, all Group 1 colts or geldings. So a really nice win there. Super Seth, like I say, Super Seth doing a really nice job. And interestingly, a couple of the stakes winners now out of Muckfee mares, so nicking nicely with that Dubawi line. Motorsports was a new stakes winner for Street Boss and Godolphin on Saturday. Probably the hottest combination right now, certainly of the spring. Street Boss doing an amazing job, incredible stallion, and Godolphin just an incredible operation, the way they do things from birth right the way through their education process, and another stakes winner for them on Saturday, so well done. I was having a chat to Arvin 3 weeks ago there, and at that stage, Street Boss had 20 confirmed pregnancies for the season. You expect that to be around about 30, I guess, now, so hopefully Street Boss will have somewhere around that sort of 40, 50 mares in foal at the end of 2025, which will be terrific for a stallion at the ripe old age of 21. Hot and High, stakes winner number 13 in Australia for Too Darn Hot from just 130 runners. So he's running at like 10% stakes winners to runners. The young sire by Dubawi at Darley there. Yeah, what's more to say? Nice filly, unbeaten in WA, and Too Darn Hot just, again, making every post a winner. Yorkshire. Well, here's a really talented horse. He's won 7 from 10 now, the son of Snitzel. He was stakes winner number 163 for his sire Snitzel on Saturday for John O'Shea and Tom Charlton. Really nice horses, bred at Newgate by the team there. Just another good example of that investment in those fast American mares. Nice outcrosses to our Australian Danehill line stallions. And yeah, that mixed with a bit of Snitzel, and we've got another stakes winner and Yorkshire. Probably more than that, 7 from 10. It's a really high strike rate. A horse probably going places, and one to look out for across the summer and into the autumn months too. Great news to hear that Toronado is back covering after a leg injury at Swettenham. He missed most of the beginning part of the season, has got back going and covering mares there again. So great for all the team there. An important stallion for Australia. He's obviously got a huge following in Hong Kong, a good proven sire, a horse you can rely on to get types and to get consistent results too. He sired his 28th stakes winner there on Saturday in the Jungle Dawn Classic in Perth, running at just under 5%, 4.5% stakes winners to runners. So just like I say, a really solid stallion that you can count on, and glad to hear he's back and action and getting mares in foal for the team at Swettenham. She's a hustler. She's a really smart mare. Won the Zipping Classic for Graham Begg, who had a big Saturday. A daughter of Ace High. Now, Ace High, I guess, right now commercially at the crossroads, but doing a good job. 4 stakes winners now from 100 runners. Interestingly, for a son of High Chaparral, whose own stud career and his sons have mostly sort of been colt dominated, he has had 4 stakes winners, all fillies so far, including the likes of Molly Blooms, that really talented Oaks winner. So yeah, another stakes winning filly or mare for him on the weekend. Small scale stuff, but interesting to see him doing so well with his fillies compared to the other sons or High Chaparral line stallions. Finally, on a personal note, great to see Major Beal back and winning stakes races. Again, Adrian, of course, Quinella there, the ATC Cup on Saturday. Major Beal beating Shangri-La Spring, both big runs. Major Beal, of course, Gain Adrian's first ever ATC Derby winner. He won that as a 3-year-old. He's come back now, won the ATC Cup at the ripe old age of 6. So great to see him have longevity. He's just keeps taking his owners to big races, big carnival days, and nice to see them all out there celebrating his win on Saturday. That's the wrap up for this week's podcast. Hope that sort of touches on all the key commercial stakes results that you need to know about on the weekend. We'll be on the road over the next few weeks trying to find the next Major Beal, the next Group 1 horses for Gain Adrian. So look out for some fresh content on the road and looking at yearling sales for the 2026 Magic Millions Yearling Sales Series. I look forward to bringing that to you. Have a great week, everybody.